Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. That's Palestine here. I'm making you my second video of the day because, as I said in my previous video, if you watched it, that because I've got so much going on, I decided to break down what I had to say into two videos because there's so much going on, but it's two different subjects. The first subject was some strange things that are happening to my body that I'm just wondering if it is a recurrence of breast cancer. And that was the first video that I made today. And the title of the video is Should I Contact the Breast Cancer Center? The second video is going to be about my ophthalmology appointment. So I had to go to the ophthalmology appointment in another town. And the reason why is because the hospital in the town I live in is really old and they want to build a new hospital. And so I think that because they want to build a new hospital, they're trying to direct as many appointments as possible to hospitals in, well, two other towns that I know of. So I had to go to the hospital in another town. And so in order for me to do that, I had to have the day off, but I don't get the day off because I have to work on Friday. In order for me not to work on the Tuesday, I have to work on Friday. So I'm still going to be working all of my allocated hours, just working them on different days. So I had to take Tuesday off and I'm going to work on Friday. And then in addition to that, I had to allocate 2.5 hours to get to take the bus to this other town. So I had to leave my house at 8:30, walk to the bus stop, take the bus into this mall where a lot of the buses are, and then I had to go visit the ladies' room because I didn't want to have to go to the bathroom while I was on the bus. And then I had to take another bus to this hospital in another town. And before I did that, I had to get up at 7:30 in the morning. And because I only had an hour from the time that I got up to the time that I had to leave my home, I didn't really get to eat any breakfast. So what I did was I made tea for me and my boyfriend. And then I made 2 sandwiches. I made toast, 4 pieces of toast. And so I made one peanut butter sandwich for my boyfriend and one chocolate sandwich for myself. And then for breakfast, I didn't have very much time. So my boyfriend had like a chicken salad that he had last night that he didn't finish. So he finished that this morning. And I just had a little mince pie just so I wouldn't be too hungry. And then I couldn't take my medication because it takes me a long time to take my medication. I have so much to take. So I decided that I would wait until I came home from my ophthalmology appointment to take my medication. And then in addition to that, I had a whole bunch of dishes that needed to be washed that I couldn't wash the dishes because I would not have left the house at 8:30 if I did. I needed to wash some of my clothes. Couldn't wash the clothes because again I would not have been able to leave at 8:30 if I did. So I left my apartment with my dishes not washed and my clothes not washed after having half a cup of tea and a mince pie left over from Christmas. And my boyfriend ate chicken salad that was left over from last night. And so we took the 2 sandwiches in a plastic container and we put those on the bus. So we ended up on this one bus, and it takes about an hour and 10 minutes to go to the hospital in this other town, and the reason why is because it's a stopping bus, and it stops in lots of different locations, and since it's a stopping bus, it takes a long time. And so fortunately, when I left the house at 8:30, the bus that I had to take was late, so I still managed to go into the mall to visit the restroom, and then I just managed to catch the bus. I had to run. My little lung diseased lungs had to run to catch the bus, but I just managed to catch the bus. If I hadn't caught the bus, I would have had to wait for the next bus, which would have been in half an hour. But I didn't want to get on the bus without having gone to the bathroom. That would not have been very good for me to do that. And then so we were on the bus for an hour and 10 minutes, and I was with my boyfriend. My boyfriend went with me to my doctor's appointment, which was good. So I had some company. And then so we got to the hospital. It's a small hospital, a very small hospital. So we got to the hospital, and then we found the outpatients department, and we found out where I have to have my ophthalmology appointment. And then we went to the little cafe. It had a little cafe. And my boyfriend got a tea, and I got a hot chocolate because I didn't want to have a coffee because I was worried that it might disturb me if I had a coffee. So I had a hot chocolate. So after he drank his tea and I drank my hot chocolate, we went to outpatients, and then we signed in, let them know that we were here, and then we sat in the waiting room waiting to be called. So I went into ophthalmology, and they did the same thing at ophthalmology in this new hospital that they did in the hospital that I normally go to. But I just think that they're trying to get as many people as possible to go to hospitals in other towns. And I can go to this one hospital. I have to take 2 buses to get there, but I can go there because the bus will drop me off right at the hospital. And so he was checking my eyes, and my left eye is very weak. I could barely see out of my left eye. I had a black shadow, so I couldn't see. And he said, well, if you have any more black shadows, go to eye casualty. Well, what is eye casualty going to do, you know? And then he took some snapshots of my eyes, and he kept saying, don't blink, don't blink. And then he had to go into another room, and he took some more pictures of my eyes. And then he said, well, I want you to wait here. I want my colleague to see these pictures because I don't want them not to be saved. I want to make sure my colleague can see them. And then so I already know that my left eye is very weak. And if you watch my previous video, you'll know that the left side of my body is very weak as well, and that I had cancer on the left side of my body. So he said after he finished, and his colleague said yes, he could see the scans, and I know my left eye's weak, and I told him my left eye's weak. We went home, and then so we went to the bus stop. We had to go to the bathroom before we went to the bus stop because it's going to be about an hour and 10 minutes to actually get back to the town that I live in, because it had to stop in so many places. And then we waited 7 minutes at the bus stop. The bus came, we got on the bus, and we rode the bus back to the town I live in. And so we had snacked. I had my chocolate sandwich, and he had his peanut butter sandwich. But because of money, if you've watched my previous videos, then you'll know I'm having some financial difficulties. So because of money, I said, well, we're going to have a sandwich and some crisps for lunch. You know, we couldn't, even though we were in town, we couldn't go to McDonald's or anything like that. We had to have a sandwich. So I went home and my boyfriend fixed himself a cheese sandwich, and I just fixed myself some tuna, fish, and mayonnaise, and I ate it with chips, and or potato chips. And the reason for that is because I eat a sandwich every single day, and I get tired of sandwiches. So I decided, rather than have a tuna sandwich, which I'm not that keen on bread anyway because I have bread every single day, I decided I'd have tuna and a potato chip, which is what I did. And then so that was it. And then I got home and I had to wash dishes and I had to wash my clothes, and that was that. So now the next big thing is that I have to go to the eye doctor, get my eyes tested, and get a new pair of glasses, which is going to be more money, and which is not very nice considering my financial difficulties. But I have to get a new pair of glasses, so that's going to be more money. So that was it. That was it for my day for my ophthalmology appointment. I know it's not going to go well because there's a black shadow on my left eye. My right eye is stronger than my left eye. So I know it's not going to go well. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to say. So I'm just going to wait to receive a letter from the doctor concerning the outcome of my ophthalmology appointment. But it's not looking hopeful. And then when I get a letter concerning the outcome, if they're going to do any more treatment, then what I'll do is I'll have my eyes tested at Boots, which is where I go, and I'll get a new pair of glasses, and I have to wear varifocals, and varifocals are very expensive, and so that's going to be another expense. But hopefully I'll be able to keep those varifocals for 4 or 5 years. I thought that I could keep my current varifocals for 5 years, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to get a new pair of glasses. So that concludes my video. You know how my ophthalmology appointment went. My next video that I'm going to make is going to be about the CT scan, because I have a CT scan coming up on Saturday where they're going to check me for lung cancer. And I was looking on Google, and Google said that you can detect recurrence of breast cancer on a lung CT scan. So I have to wait and see if I have a recurrence of breast cancer, because if you watch my last video about should I contact the cancer center, I'm telling you some strange things that are happening to my body, and I'm just wondering if it is a recurrence of breast cancer or if it is a side effect of a lumpectomy, a side effect of radiotherapy, or even a side effect of the aromatase inhibitors that I have to take. So that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe, and I will be making a new video for you after I've had my CT scan. Thank you.